Real Earth Elements, or REE for short, is an enterprise-backed derivative token, which is a mouthful. It means that it's a cryptocurrency like any other with all the utility, all the functionality, except now you have a real-world enterprise that is backing that token and sharing dividends and profits and earnings from their actual business. Starting with copper mining, Cryptic is the company behind it. I'll stop there. I'll let Sim explain exactly how it works. Sim?
Om Swastiastu Bali. How you guys doing? It's paradise. There's never a bad day in paradise anyway, right? My name is Sim, like a SIM card. I have great reception, better than Telkomsel. And I'm going to introduce something really complicated to you in 5 minutes. Okay, here we go. It's called RealEE, or Real Earth Elements Token. I think I need a clicker for this. So first of all, let's talk about what we believe. We believe that there have been things done in this world the wrong way, and we have a chance to do it the right way. Okay? And we're doing it. Mining, not Bitcoin mining, like actual, mining, has been done in a way where giant conglomerates go out and dig up a whole mountain, tear a mountain down, take the ore that they dig up to a processor who processes it with the chemicals and then dumps the chemicals into a river that end up in the ocean, and then take advantage of the local communities, don't give them back anything, and then all the wealth goes to some very, very rich person who can afford mines. I think that's not the best way of doing that. Crypto. There's some things wrong with crypto, too, guys, I'm sorry. Okay? Right now, 60% of this space is complete scams, complete Ponzi schemes, right? There's no verifiable value, it's all just hype, it's all just speculation. Most of the cryptos get manipulated, they get pumped and dumped when they launch, and good people lose their money in the process, because again, it's not verifiable. There's nothing actually backing it except for the faith that people put into it, right? And again, even when the cryptos launch, you can't access it. Only the wealthy can access it, only the people with networks can access it, and the average person doesn't get a chance to even buy it until they get to the point of going public, at which point they're gonna dump on you, okay? So what are we doing about that? We figured out a better way to mine. Instead of going out and digging up a whole mountain, we do something called boutique mining, scalable boutique mining. We work with the locals to find the veins of where the actual ore is, and then surgically dig that up and take it out, rather than just completely blowing up a whole mountainside and then finding whatever amount of elements are in there. Then we do our best to re-green the area and leave it better than where we found it. Plus, we leave the communities better than what we found. We work with the local communities, we hire those people. Then we take it to processors who are dedicated to processing it in the right way, not polluting the ocean, not polluting the earth, okay? And then the wealth is now going to be accessible through our token to anybody. Somebody wants to invest 10,000 rupiah in the middle of Indonesia, as long as they can pass KYC, we're going to make that accessible. On the crypto token side, we're backed by actual revenue. We have actual mines digging out actual materials that are going to be fed into this token, and I'll explain to you how that works. We're fully regulated, we're a security. Most of these crypto tokens out here are trying to avoid regulations. We're registering in the US as a security, so it's equivalent to having a share in a company. And it's going to be launched in a protected environment first, internally, to provide access to everybody and avoid even the possibility of a pump and dump before we go to public markets, okay? So we fix a bunch of problems that happen in the world. So what is it? What's this token we're talking about, right? This token is backed by the revenues of copper, gold, nickel, and iron mines. Backed by the revenue. The token does not give you ownership of the mines, it gives you rights to some of the revenues from the mines, right? And then we only issue tokens when we want to buy more mines, right? We will go out and find mines, bring them to investors and say, hey, here's a verifiably solid mine that is going to work with our method. We'll issue some tokens. we'll buy some mines, we'll put the value into the token, and the revenue will be paid out to anybody who stakes the token. It's gonna be easy to access on an internal OTC exchange where anybody with crypto or without crypto can go and click and buy it either through crypto or outside of crypto. It's a registered security, I already said that. So what is this scalable boutique mining thing, right? What is so different about it? It's that idea of we don't need to go and dig up a whole mountain. Like this ore, it's not like the whole mountain always contains ore. There's specific parts of the mountain that contains ore. Ore is like what metals are inside of, right? And the locals know that stuff. They've been there digging this up for generations. Giant conglomerates come in and actually don't listen to them, dig up a whole mountain. We're doing the other way. We're working with the locals to find that ore, and then we're going to surgically dig it up. Simple as that.
5 minutes, Sim.
Where do you have 5 minutes? All right. What do we have? What have we done? We got 1,100 hectares in Chile with 2 mines already functioning, 18 coming online, 3 prospective mines in Philippines are coming online. We're working with the Indonesian government to bring this model to Indonesia. We've already raised $300,000 for the pre-seed. The market, it's exploding. 60% projected growth over the next 8 years. The demand for copper and nickel and all these things is going up because the green world we all want built is going to be built with this stuff, right? Let's just do it in a way where we dig it up in a green way. And I want to spend more time on this than anything else, okay? This whole, like, we want to do good things for Mother Nature isn't just some fluff in some presentation. This is how we need to live our life. In Bali, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, but this is how we need to change the world in a fundamental way. This is how it works. Commodity prices, the amount of mining efficiency we have, and the number of mines we have feed into mining profits, which goes into the token. Some of that goes into Earth initiatives where we donate back. The rest of it goes to staking rewards, depending on how much you've staked and how long you've staked for, and you get the return back to you. And it's all verifiable, it'll be transparent, unlike most of this space. We've already raised 300,000. We're raising another 1.7 million for seed. The pre-seed round hasn't fully closed. If you're somebody who aligns with our mission, aligns with our vision, we'd be happy to get you a slice of the pre-seed round, something very small. The seed round is going to be closing around end of July. After that, we launch on an internal exchange. And from there, the 14 million and 9 million will be accessible to anybody from across the world. So there will be fair access before we go to public markets. And this is the process. Build it internally, launch it, use the raised capital to buy mines, launch it public, use that to buy mines, or issue more tokens, buy mines, use the dividends to reward the stakers, and then whatever extra dividends we have, we buy the tokens off of the public markets with that. Okay?
I'm gonna have to cut you off there, Sim.
Sweet.
This is a quick one. You wanna wrap it up real quick?
We got a lot of cool people working on it. All the experts in all the different spaces. We got miners. We got expert miners on the ground. We got commodities analysts who built the actual business plan. We got the company's being run by a guy who ran eBay for a bit, one of the data centers of eBay. We have operations being executed by people that have built successful companies. We're partnering with Unix and partners from Holochain and a few other existing successful ventures. Our raised partners have already raised hundreds of millions of dollars, so.
Awesome.
I'll leave it
Awesome.
there.
We'll kill it there. If there's more
Wow,
questions about the team.
That was intense. Thank you.
Well done, especially the sprint at the end, man. All right, we'll open it up to the panelists, to the angels, if anybody has questions. You want the mic? Yeah, pass it down, please. You got to just long.
Can you tell the audience how much you've raised so far?
We've raised 300,000 with soft commitments on the 1.2 million, or 2 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell people how you will know how much copper is in a specific mountain?
That is done through prospecting of the mountain.
Okay,
Right.
I know. And can you tell the audience how much prospecting actually costs?
I actually have a mining or Dow Jones expert sitting in the back. I'd have him answer that question for you because I'm not the mining expert.
Okay.
You know?
Because I know it costs millions of dollars to get that going. So if you're only raising 2 million, I don't see how you are gonna find out effectively how much copper is actually in a mine. But yeah, we can talk about that.
No, we've already spent the millions to go out and prospect and get that 1,100 hectares, and there's already mines working on it.
Okay.
Right? So we've already paid the money up front for it. But again, this is here. I'll let this guy answer.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm with Real Earth Elements. I'm Anthony Robinson. We don't go to green fields, particularly in Chile and the Philippines. We've already identified working mines. We're picking up mines that were closed because of COVID, or someone went bankrupt, or they couldn't pay their back taxes. We have locals on the ground who've told us where the decent veins are. We work with them. We hire them back because they've been unemployed for the last 2 years. In the case of the Philippines, we've spent 3 years identifying necessary mines in areas where people need the money and need the work. And we do everything we can to make sure that we comply not only with national regulations, but our own personal view that mining with people is a way to extract the goods without destroying lives or the environment. And that's our key.
Great, thank you for that. Also, in terms of, I would like to know the measure impact results of how these locals are not dumping these chemicals in the river, right? Because it costs a lot of money to be able to safely release these chemicals. So, I mean, if local people don't have the funds, I would like to know what their methods are.
We are providing guidance to a certain extent to the local people that we work with. The mines themselves don't pollute. In the case of Chile in particular, it's in the middle of the desert, there's nothing there. We don't wholesale mine, we strategically and surgically mine veins. When it comes to the processing, that uses chemicals that must be disposed of in very, very regulated ways. We will not work with processing plants that don't follow strict guidelines, and we ourselves will deploy processing opportunities ourselves when we are funded to that extent. And even if without the funding, eventually because of profitability, we will get to the point where we will provide our own processing plants.
I have so many more questions, but I don't want to make this a one-on-one thing. So if anybody has any more questions.
I'm sure your questions are the best because you actually seem knowledgeable about this. So
We,
Through experience, because
Of
we
course.
had, like I mentioned, we invested in one. So yeah, so there's a lot of challenges still, right? A year after our investment that we trying to overcome. And you know, investors, they don't necessarily just give you money, they want to be a part of the process, right? So when businesses come up that investors kind of haven't overcome some challenges and then a new opportunity arises, we bring that expertise, right, to how are you going to solve those challenges? How can we help you solve those challenges to become successful together? So.
And that's what we want in investors. We want, first of all, the vision and the mission to line up. But secondly, if you have expertise of making mistakes or hitting walls on your side, we'd be happy to see how our business model is not privy to those things and how we can avoid doing those things in the first place. Thank you for the questions.
okay, we got a question from YouTube. I feel like you guys have kind of answered it already, but we'll go through it. It says, this is from Jesse Huang. Mineral exploration is a costly and complex process. It requires very technical knowledge and a lot of capital for exploration drilling. What do you mean with the local to locate the mine and surgically extract it? I feel like you did just answer this question, but maybe you want to reiterate?
I'll do it again.
Okay.
Again, the mines we have are existing mines. They have been operating mines. They were profitable mines. Perhaps the people running them didn't have the necessary skills, or there were family legacies and the taxes built up on them and they couldn't pay them. You do not need to drill. This is a misnomer. You do not need to drill in order to find a mine. Most of what happened in the Yukon territories back in the 1800s were people panning for gold. No one drilled anything. In the case of Chile, the mines are already operating. The locals have been unemployed. They show us where they used to mine. They show us the profitable veins. We simply collect it. We do some blasting with dynamite, which is properly stored appropriately, by the way. And we collect it, we hand sort it with the help of some machinery, and buyers come and pick it up, or we deliver the ore ourselves to the appropriate buyers.
Excellent. Okay, do we have any more questions from the panelists? Yeah, go ahead, Rob. Make this one quick. We got 5 minutes.
So thank you for your presentation. And at the very beginning, you mentioned some inefficiencies in regards to blockchain, crypto, so forth, and Web 3.0, which you're correct. At the same time, however, STOs never really took off after the ICO boom and bust. And one of the problems I see is liquidity into the STO market. That's number one. But number two, why do you need a token for this? Why don't you just do a straight equity? What is the purpose, per se, why you need a token for this?
That's a great question. So this whole business model is not aimed at today's environment. We have a regulatory wall coming down over the next 2 years in the crypto space that's going to clarify the investment space, the entire paradigm of how we actually structure the world. This business model is aimed at that. Liquidity has not been available in this environment because the real investors do not want to enter an unregulated space with no regulatory clarity. I think the next wave that's going to happen is going to be securitize everything, tokenize world, tokenize brands, tokenize mines, tokenize real estate. I mean, we're going to be tokenizing, me personally, I'm going to be tokenizing everything. I can tokenize you if you want, right? And the world is going to transition to this way of investing. The old way of having brokers and going through stock exchanges and paying 100 middlemen a bunch of money to do this is completely outdated and pointless. So this whole process, it's not aimed at, making this token huge during this bull run. That's actually the antithesis of what we're trying to do, if the bull run's even going on right now. We're more interested in the 2024 and 2025 range, where the landscape changes completely, and STOs at that point will become a massive, massive player in the space.
That's potentially in the future, but as an investor, how can I exit, or what's my liquidity once I come in here? And the argument to that is you could basically take a shell company from OTC for 100, 200,000, list it, and then sell the stock as well. So why not go that model as opposed to something that's not liquid currently?
So it's going to be liquid the whole way. We're actually going to be we're going to be bringing in extra liquidity into the internal exchange and using the revenues from the mines to buy tokens off the markets. So the dividends themselves, whatever dividends don't get paid out to stakers, will be used as liquidity to actually buy tokens off of the markets. Plus, once this business model is proven, there's going to be a lot of institutional interest that'll be happy to buy it off of you, and they have 5 to 10 year investment skills. So this isn't something where we just raise and then we launch the token to the public markets and just leave it. The communities we're building around it, the investor communities and the crypto communities, are very hungry for having a hedge against the volatility that exists in the crypto space, and the traditional investors are very interested in entering the space in a regulated way.
So it's more also the DeFi component then on the staking and so forth. Okay, got it.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up. You guys, we have 2 minutes left for this session. Thank you very much, gentlemen.